Hey friends! So it is Friday. Woo! Yay, that's so exciting. And you guys are finishing up your moon lap book. You guys should be so proud of yourselves. You have worked hard and you know just what you're doing when it comes to the moon. All right, so yesterday we talked about the tides and how the moon affects them. I hope you enjoyed that funny video at the end. I think he's a cool, funny guy. All right, so today we're going to be talking about moon myths. And in the description, you learned that a myth is a falsehood. It's not true, okay? So we're going to talk about the moon myths that are in your lap book. In your lap book, right over here, you have 4 different moon myths. Today, we're going to debunk those myths and give you the right answers, okay? So the first one says that the moon changes size. Now, wait a second. I see here that the moon does look like it changes size. See? It goes big, part of the moon that you can see. Wait a second. The moon changes size? Nope, not at all. The moon doesn't change size. Its position in the sky does change, but because of where we're stationed when we're seeing it, it might look bigger or smaller, but the moon never changes size. It is just its relationship to where we are. So in your lap book, please write this. You guys are going to write this on your lap book. The moon is always the same size, only its position changes. When you're done, it should look like that. Now, remember, we're talking about its position in the night sky. That's why I remember in our book, Moon Journal, how he was like, wait a second. The first night they couldn't even see it. And then the next night it was just barely above the trees. Here, let me get this bigger so you can see. It was just barely above the trees, remember? And then throughout the rest of the month, it kept getting higher and higher. Now, remember, the size of the moon doesn't change, just its position in the night sky, okay? All right, our next myth says the moon is made of cheese. We can debunk that one already because we looked at a NASA website earlier this week and it told us exactly what the moon is made out of. Remember? Composition. So we can debunk that right now. And this is what I'd like you to write on that one. Remember, you can pause this video at any time to give you more time to write. The moon is actually made of iron, magnesium, oxygen, and more. So here is how I wrote it down. Right there. I wrote a few more of the elements it's made of because I had space. You can do that if you want to, or you can just write what's on the screen, okay? Okay. This next one, I have to tell you, is one of my favorites because in 2002, Buzz Aldrin, he was a septuagenarian at that point. He was they were talking about the lunar landing, and the myth here says that the moon landing was fake. All right, so, and there's so many conspiracy theories about the moon landing being fake. And Buzz Aldrin, who was actually been to the moon, another man was like, no, it's fake, and he got so fed up, he actually punched the guy in the face. He was that angry about people spreading the conspiracy theory, the myth that the moon landing was fake. We have real life footage of the moon landing. We know that there have been 12 people that have gone to the moon, right? So we can tell that that one is a myth right off the bat. We've learned about Apollo 11 and the subsequent missions that went to the moon. So let's go ahead and debunk that myth by writing in the facts. Okay, here's what you're going to write. Scientists have proved it did happen, including the 12 astronauts that landed there. And I wrote it down on mine. Remember, if you want to, you can pause it. And I'm not going to lie, this isn't grammatically correct. So I'm actually going to change it real quick because it's going to bug me if I don't. Scientists, control paste, including the 12 astronauts that landed there, have proved it did happen. That's even better. Let's do that instead. Okay? Now, remember, astronauts are scientists too. So that's why we included them there. All right. Now, our last myth is that there is no gravity on the moon. So this myth comes from the fact that when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin placed the flag on the moon, it looked as if it was just standing still. Okay? Nothing was going on with it. But we actually do know that there's gravity on the moon. It's just that the gravity on the moon is less than the gravity on Earth. So, for example, if you, depending on what you weigh on Earth, you only weigh 1/6 of that weight on the moon. So, let's do if you weighed 60 pounds on Earth, you would only weigh 10 pounds on the moon. Isn't that cool? All right, let's write this one in. I'm going to be writing the moon has gravity, but it is much less than Earth's gravity. And on mine, I wrote it in, but I also included down at the bottom my little example of 60 pounds. If I weighed 60 pounds on the Earth, then that means I'd only weigh 10 pounds on the moon. Okay? So maybe all of us moms who are working on not eating too many quarantine sweets should move to the moon. All right, you guys. So those are the myths. On the webpage today, you'll find a couple of different sites and videos as to where those myths came from and how they've been debunked, okay? You guys, I hope you have a really, really wonderful weekend. It has been so good learning about the moon with you this week. I hope that you learned something and that you enjoyed it. Again, remember this week is a makeup week. So if you're missing any assignments, please, please, please get those turned in. We want you guys to move on to 3rd grade with a brain full of brains, okay? We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.